Hello and welcome to another exciting maths class on measurement. Let's get into it. First up, we're going to be looking at conversions. Now, you may recall if we can convert from millimeters to centimeters, we would normally divide by 10. But if you're doing volume conversion and you can converting from millimeters cubed to centimeters cubed, you're going to divide by 10 cubed. So the conversions are exactly the same for volume as they are for area and they are for simple units. Just need the cubed above your divided by or multiplied by 10 or 100 or 1,000. Capacity, if you're going from a megaliter to a kiloliter times by 1,000, kiloliter to litre times by 1,000, litre to milliliter times by 1,000. If you're going back the other way, divide by 1,000. A few things that you need to know. 1 cubic centimetre is the same as 1 milliliter. 1,000 cubic centimetres is the same as 1 litre, and 1 cubic metre is 1,000 litres or 1 kiloliter. Righto, here are the formulas that we're going to be using in this topic. A rectangular prism, formula's length times breadth times height. A cube, the formula's L cubed or side length cubed. A prism, the area of one of the sides, doesn't matter whether it's the top, the bottom, the front, the back, because they're constant, multiplied by the depth. A cylinder, pi r squared h. Let's try some examples and see how we go. Now, this particular shape is a prism. And the reason it's a prism is if I took any slices from top to bottom, and imagine these are slices with a knife, it's really hard to tell, all of those slices would look like that. They're all exactly the same. And because the slices are constant from top to bottom, it's a prism. And the formula for the volume of any prism is the area of the base, or the area of the slice, multiplied by the height, which is the distance from the first slice to the last slice. So the area for this is, area of the slice is 15, it tells us that. And the distance from the bottom slice to the top slice is 8, so it's 15 times 8. The volume is 120 cubic centimetres. Part B, we're finding the volume of a cylinder. Well, the formula for the volume of a cylinder is pi r squared h. You could also use formula for the volume to be the area of the circle on the bottom times the height. And what's the area of a circle? Pi r squared. So that's the formula there. Remember, with this question, it gives us the diameter. We have to halve it to get the radius. So we get pi times the radius, which is 2.7 squared, times the height, which is 3. Put that into the calculator and you get 68.7 cubic meters. Part C, the volume of this particular rectangular prism. Well, LBH, doesn't matter which ones, that could be length, that could be breadth, that could be height, or it could be length, breadth, height, length, breadth, height, length, breadth, height, doesn't matter. You just times 3 numbers together and you get your answer where the volume is 2,400 cubic centimeters. Now we're going to have a triangular based prism. And if you imagine this one here, you could take slices from front all the way through to the back and they would be the same. So the formula for this one is the area of the slice, which is your triangle, times by h, which is the distance from the front triangle to the back triangle. So the area of your triangle is a half of the triangle's base times the triangle's height. Notice here I've written capital H because there's a little h here. Capital H stands for the triangle's height. Little h stands for the distance between the triangle at the front and the triangle at the back. Now, we know that the triangle has a base of 15 and a height of 12, so it's a half times 15 times 12, and the distance from front to back is 14. Put that into your calculator, 1,260 cubic millimeters. Let's proceed. Part E, the volume of this shape. Now this is a composite shape or a composite shape. We're going to find the volume of the rectangular prism and then the volume of the half cylinder that's on the top. So the formula for the volume of your rectangular prism, we know. The formula for a cylinder as pi r squared h, and we have a half because we only have half of the cylinder there. So, the rectangular prism, 20 times 15 times 20 times 50 times 15. Doesn't matter what order you multiply them in. Plus a half times, now the radius, if all the way across there is 20, the radius of this shape must be 10. So it's a half times pi times 10 squared times 50, because 50 is a distance from the front half semicircle to the outside half semicircle. Put that into your calculator. So your answer is 22,853.98 cubic meters for the volume of that shape. Part F. Ooh, looks a bit weird, but we've got a shaded area on the bottom. So this is just the formula. Volume is equal to the area of the shaded slice. If we took cuts through this shape, the slice would be the same all of the way through. The height from the bottom slice to the top slice is 18. So it's just 11 times 18, 198 cubic millimeters. Now let's look at 1H. We're going to be dealing with volumes of pyramids and cones. So here's our formulas. For any pyramid, the volume is 1/3 of the area of the base times the height. A cone, the area is 1/3 times the area of the circle on the bottom times the height. Doesn't matter if it's on a lean, it's still the same formula. That's those ones. Let's go to the next one, which is an example. This is a pyramid. The formula for the volume of a pyramid is 1/3 the area of the base times the height. Well, the area of the base is 1.8 times 1.1. So there's your area of your base. Got 1/3 times the area of the base times the height is 2.5. Put that into your calculator. You have a volume of 1.65 cubic millimeters. Part B, find the volume of this cone. Well, the formula for the volume of a cone is 1/3 pi r squared h. For this question, we know that the diameter is 27, so the radius is half of that, which is 13.5. We put a radius of 13.5 and a height of 34 into the calculator, and there's our answer, 6,488.96 cubic centimeters. Time for you to try doing questions from 1G and 1H. Enjoy the experience of mathematics, which will give you an appreciation and a love of number. Bye for now.